welcome back to my YouTube channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is with you. We are going to be working on a dancer pose today. It's going to be our peak pose. This is an all levels class, quite a slow class actually, and really suitable for beginners. That doesn't mean you can't make it challenging if you are a regular practitioner, so please don't be scared off by that. We will be working on dancer, which is quite a challenging pose, a little bit of balance, a little bit of back bending, twisting. There's actually quite a lot going on in this pose, so we'll be doing a lot of different things to warm up and working our entire body. So as always, take it at your own pace. If there's anything you feel like you need to leave out at any stage, please do. We're going to use a strap perhaps today and maybe some blocks. So grab your props and we'll meet back here on the mat. Okay, so we're going to get started seated today. You can start in a cross-legged position, crossing at your shins, perhaps just flexing your feet. Or if you prefer, you can point your toes and bring the heels one in front of the other. So sitting up nice and tall through the spine, we're just going to take a moment to tune into our breath. So close your eyes, excuse me, sit up nice and tall through the spine. And just starting to tune in with how your body is feeling today. The quality of your energy, the quality of your thoughts, and your breath. So starting to just recognize the depth of your breath and see if it feels good to deepen it ever so slightly. There's going to be a little bit of balance involved today, and with balance can come frustration sometimes. If the balance just is off today, please don't judge yourself. You can always come back to your mat later today or tomorrow. It's not about doing something right or wrong. Simply about checking in with where you are today. That's what our practice is all about. It is about connecting with our bodies, our minds, and trying to be as mindful as we can throughout our practice, and then allow that habit to filter out into our day. So allow your breath to create that sense of presence, and as you tune into your physical body, also allowing the weight of your body to bring you to where you are on your mat. So you can open your eyes. We're going to start to move our body. So I'd like you to bring your hands onto your knees and simply start to create these circles with your body. So you can start to stretch your chest forward, bending the elbows and scooping out the body as you lean back. So nice and slow. Perhaps a little bit of cat-cow here as you arch forward and round back. So what we're really just doing here is warming into the hips, warming into the back as we work on cat-cow a little bit, our side body and our breath, starting to move with our breath. Start to reverse the direction of the circle, opposite way. And really trying to keep that depth in the inhale, an extension through the exhale. I always get messages about what I'm wearing, so just while we're breathing and flowing, I am wearing Alo Yoga, and I am practicing with B Yoga props today. Mat, block, and strap. Okay, and then slowly starting to make those circles a little bit smaller, and just starting to find your shoulders stacked over your hips, coming into Savasana. So you're going to come onto the bony part of your sit bones. It's going to face the opposite way. So try to find that seat on your sit bones. Sit up nice and tall through your spine. Slightly lean back, but try not to lean back and round. So what we want to do is find that lift through the chest, shoulders away from the ears, and we're just going to bring the hands behind the thighs and come to the tips of our toes to begin with. I want you to squeeze your inner knees together, lift your lower belly up and in, and then slowly you're going to lift your right shin and bring it parallel with the mat, and then tap it back down. Opposite side, left shin lift, parallel, point the toe, and then tap it down. Continue, right shin, tap it down, left shin. So you should start to feel your lower belly pulling here, starting to engage. Keep squeezing through inner knees, keep drawing the lower belly up and in. Keep lifting up through the chest and drawing the shoulders away from the ears as you keep that length through your spine and avoid collapsing or rounding into the back. Okay, you can continue with this, or if you want, you can lift the right shin and then meet the left shin with it. So lifting, leaning back a little bit, keeping the hands behind the thighs. Now you can do the opposite. You'll just tap the right toe down and then the left toe. So sticking with whatever variation suits you, trying to keep the movement controlled, slow. Keep that lift through the chest. For 5, 3, 4, 3. Steady pace in the breath. 2. And the last time you're going to tap the left toe down and then hold. You can either hold with toes down or toes lifted. Extend your arms forward. Palms can face up. Holding here, pressing your inner feet together for 5. Breathe for 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. Bring the soles of your feet together. Create this wide diamond shape, so the heels of your feet can be a little bit away from your pubic bone. And just reaching forward, perhaps you want to interlace the fingers underneath your toes, or you can even just hold it to your ankles. And we're going to fold forward. So just that slight fold forward, extending your chest forward. Like I said, if you're holding your ankles, you might feel like you're way up here, but you're still hinging forward. It's more important to keep the length through the spine and the hinge from the hips, rather than think about rounding and getting the head toward the feet. So stretching chest forward, bum back, feel that opening in the outer hips, breathing into it. And then slowly chest forward, look forward, and release all the way back up. Okay, we're going to cross the ankles. You're going to roll over onto your hands and your knees, coming into a tabletop position. So from here, I'd like you to bring the hands underneath the shoulders, and then bring the fingers to point out, and heels of the hands point in toward each other, and just walk the heels of your hands quite close, so that the wrists are actually almost touching. Fingers are spread wide, and just start to circle your torso around the wrist joint in one direction, and then the opposite direction. Breathing deeply, and then you're going to bring your fingers to point back toward your knees, wrists point forward. You can stay with shoulders stacked over the wrists, or you can lean back a little bit. Lean forward, lean back, and lean forward. One more time. Okay, and then release. Fingers point forward. If you need to give your wrists a little shake, you can. We're going to come into a modified side plank. So bring your left shin to point out, extend your right leg back, and come onto the outer edge of your right foot. Check that your left hand is directly underneath the shoulder, and the right arm is going to lift all the way up. So from here, we're going to hover the right leg, if that's available for you. Don't worry if it's not, you can keep the foot grounded. Your left shin is working as your kickstand. Keep the tailbone tucked. You can stay here, or if you want, point your right toe, bend your knee, and reach back for the big toe man side of your right foot. Kick into the foot and feel that opening in your right shoulder. So it's important that you're holding the big toe man side of your foot, so that your right chest gets that nice opening, the right hip flexor, the right quad. Breathing here for 3. Keep the core engaged, navel to spine for 2. And 1. With control, mindfully release the foot, bring the right foot down, extend the right arm over the right ear, and then bring the right arm to the mat. Back to your starting position. Tabletop, opposite side. Right shin out for your kickstand. Extend your left leg back. Ground the outer edge of your left foot. Right hand underneath the shoulder. Extend your left arm up. Push down into the right hand. Push down into the top of the right foot. And then hover the left leg. So you're really using your outer left glute here. That should feel engaged. And then if you want, you can point the toe and reach back for the foot with your left hand. Finding the foot on the big toe man side. Kick gently to find that opening through the left shoulder, the chest. Breathing here. Keep the core engaged, keep the navel drawing in toward the spine for 3. Kick gently for 2. And 1, slowly release. Bring the left foot down, extend the left arm over the ear, and then bring the left hand down to the mat. Okay, so we're going to come into a downward facing dog. So for downward facing dog, I always like to remind people it's really important that you keep the length in your spine. So much better to have a bend in your knees and length through the back rather than length through the legs and a rounding through the back. Okay, so spread your fingers wide, ground down through middle or through index finger and thumb, and then lift your hips up and back. Wrapping your triceps in toward each other, lift your sit bones, feel your heels sink down toward your mat, feel your heart reach back toward your thighs without opening too much through the rib cage. So keep your lowest rib hugging in toward your spine. Check with your feet that they are parallel. Your heels should be almost hidden behind your toes. From here, inhale, roll forward into plank. Bring the shoulders over the wrists, and we're going to lower like a plank to the belly. Feel free to drop your knees, or like as you're doing a push-up, you draw your elbows to your ribs and you lower all the way down to the belly. So from here, we're going to come into a quad stretch. You're going to bring your left palm underneath your face. Allow your forehead to rest on your hand, and then bring your right heel towards you. Reach back with the right hand, and then a gentle pull down. So you might end up actually bending your right elbow to pull the right heel a little bit closer toward your glutes. Imagine you're trying to reach your right knee toward the back of the mat. To really deepen that stretch in your right quad, allow your face to be soft. You can have the forehead down, or you could look to the right. If you wanted more of a stretch, you could reach back with both hands. Pull down a little bit more. Keep the right quad grounding. Keep the pubic bone grounding. And then slowly release. We'll come to the opposite side. So release the right foot. Bring the right palm face down underneath the face, and then reach back for the left foot with the left hand. Again, just being mindful that this side might feel quite different. We're slowly just starting to wake up the muscles again. Try to ground down through the pubic bone, not allowing your tailbone to lift or your bum to lift. Push your quad down and reach your left knee back. Hug the left heel toward your glutes. If you want more, you can reach back with both hands. Or simply just pull the heel down toward the bum. And then slowly you can release the foot. Okay, bring your hands just in front of, or just underneath your shoulders. Your middle fingers, or the tip of your middle finger can be in line with the tip of your shoulder. Feet are parallel with each other, legs hip width distance. Point the toenails to the mat. Ground down through the pubic bone. Inhale to baby cobra. Just a slight lift through the chest, engagement through the upper back. And release all the way back down. A little bit more this time. Inhale, pubic bone down, push gently into the hands, lift the chest, elbows stay bent. Exhale, release. This time, upward facing dog. Bring your hands slightly back in line with your rib cage. Push down through the feet. You're going to lift the kneecaps this time. So lift up, straighten the arms, shoulders away from ears, legs engaged, pubic bone and thighs covered. And then downward facing dog. You can tuck the toes, lift the hips all the way up and back. Inhale, roll forward into plank and drop your knees to the mat. So from here we're going to extend the right leg all the way back. You're going to keep your right toes pointing down, heel is reaching back, thigh is internally rotating, so think about inner thigh wrapping up toward the sky. And then you're going to bend your right knee and bring your right foot to point toward the sky. Moving through cat-cow here. Inhale, arch your spine, lift your right heel. And as you exhale, round through the back, point the right toe and bring the right knee toward the nose. Inhale, flex the right foot, bring the heel to point toward the sky, arch your spine. Exhale, round, point the right toe, knee to nose. 3 more. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Last time. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Extend the right leg back. And then release right knee to mat. Opposite side. Extend your left leg back, bring the left heel in line with the left glute, flexing the foot again, wrap your inner thigh toward the sky. Bend the left knee, bring the left sole of the foot to point toward the sky. Arch your spine, inhale, lift your gaze, navel stays strong. Exhale, point the left toe, round through the back, and suck the thigh toward the belly. Inhale, arch, flex the foot, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, point the left toe, push down through the hands, thigh to belly. Inhale, arch. Slow, controlled. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Last time. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round. Extend the left leg back, flexing the foot, pushing the left leg back. And then release left knee to mat. Okay, we're going to move toward our standing sequence. Spread your fingers, tip your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, float the left leg all the way up, bend the knee to open the hip. Allow that left heel to soften down, to open through the left leg. Lift your right knee, squeeze your right heel toward your glutes. And then inhale one more time here. Exhale, knee to nose as you step the right foot through between the hands. So step the right foot all the way through and drop the left knee. Okay, keep the left hand underneath the shoulder and circle the right arm all the way back. Here is where you might use your strap if you cannot reach your left foot. So if you can't reach the right foot, you can bring the left foot into the loop of the strap and hold on to the strap instead. Allow your hips to sink forward. We're looking for this nice opening in the left hip flexor, in the left quad. And then slowly, if you want, you can come down onto the left forearm to deepen the stretch. If you want more of an opening in your right shoulder, you can almost kick back into the foot to find that opening like we did in the beginning of class in the right shoulder. Breathing deeply. Notice where you feel this pose the most and see if you can send your breath there. You can pulse the left heel in toward the glutes to open a little bit more. And then slowly, if you're on the left forearm, come back to the hand. Release the foot. Now, runner's lunge. We're going to come into a runner's lunge position. So like you're about to start a sprint, your feet are on separate tracks. Your hips are square, so draw that right heel back and come all the way up into a high lunge position, crescent pose. So right knee stays over the ankle, your left knee can stay bent if you have very tight hamstrings, hip flexors. Bring your fingertips behind the head, elbows out wide. So from here you can stay, or if you'd like, you can start to elbows back, chest lifts, gaze lifts, if it's okay for the balance. Hold it here, core strong for 5. Lift through the chest, 4, 3. Press down through the feet, 2. Lift up through the belly button, 1. Gaze forward, hands to prayer at the heart. Okay, we're gonna bring the left knee in toward your chest. So lean forward, bring the left knee all the way in, and then kick the leg out in front if you can. So you can either point or flex the foot. Feel your core engage, feel your hip bones lift toward your rib cage. for 5, 4, 3, 2, warrior 1, you're gonna warrior 3, you're gonna hinge into warrior 3. So extending the left leg back, stretching the chest forward, engaging the standing leg. Imagine like you had a wall behind you and you're pushing the sole of the left foot into that wall. Draw your right hip back, left hip forward, hug the left femur bone into its socket. And then downward facing dog, you're gonna bend into the right knee, plant the left foot, plant your hands, step back. Take a nice full deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, open the mouth, let it go. Opposite side, point to the left toe, lift the left leg, and then bend the knee, open the hip. So lift that left knee as high as you can, allow the right heel to soften down to get that opening in the right hamstring. And then slowly straighten the leg, square off the hips, and step the left foot through between the hands. Okay, so from here, dropping the right knee down to the mat. Keeping the right hand where it is, you're going to circle the left arm all the way back. And notice this side might feel very different. So for me, it's a little bit more of a struggle to get the left foot. So if you need to use the strap on this side, whereas you might not have on the opposite side, don't force it. You want to be in a place where you can breathe. On the opposite side, I came to the forearm. On this side, I like to just stay on the hand so that I can really find the stretch without compromising the breath. So I'm still really feeling this really intensely in the front of the right hip flexor. And I'm focusing on sending my breath there. One more full breath in. One more full breath out. Slowly releasing the right foot, coming into that runner's lunge, so feet on separate tracks. High in the ball of the back foot. Engage your core, strong through the legs, and slowly float the arms all the way up overhead. Again, if you have very tight hip flexors and quads, you might micro bend the back knee. You don't want to be arching through the lower back, so lengthen down through the tailbone, lift the lower belly up and in, and then bring the fingertips behind the head. Elbows out wide. Maybe you bring the gaze forward, or maybe you lift the gaze slightly as you lift the chest. Lifting up for 5. Elbows wide, engage your back, engage your core for 4. Breathing deeply into it for 3. Strong through your gaze for 2. Focus on the strength of your legs for 1, and then bring the hands to curl the heart. Come to standing on the left leg, shift the weight forward, strong through the core, and bring the right knee toward the chest. Okay, so we're going to extend the right leg forward. Maybe you flex, maybe you point for 5. Keep the heel lifted as high as you can for 4. Avoid leaning back, keep the shoulders over the hips for 3. Lift the hip bones toward the rib cage for 2, 1, warrior 3, hinge it back. So extending your right leg back, extend the crown of your head forward. The length of your spine extends into the back of your neck. Don't worry about completely straightening the standing leg. If you need to micro bend the left knee, you can. Point or flex the right foot. And make sure that your entire body is parallel to the mat. Core strong. 3. Breathe deeply. 2. And 1, down dog. Find the mat with your right foot, plant your hands and step back. Well done. Take a full deep breath in through the nose, exhale, open the mouth and let it go. Inhale, float right leg up, bend the knee to open the hip. Again, try to soften the left heel down to open through the back of the left leg. Inhale fully again, exhale, step the right foot through between your hands. High lunge, arms lift all the way up overhead. Exhale, hands release to prayer at the heart. We're going to come again to standing at the front of our mat. So lean the weight forward, bring the left knee in toward your chest, And Vrikshasana, tree pose, you're going to grab the left ankle and try to place the left foot to the inside of your right thigh. So left foot can be either to the inner thigh, it can also be down to the inner calf, or to the inner ankle, toes touching the mat. So we're standing on the right leg, left knee out wide, and trying to bring the left knee back in line with your hips. Stand up tall through the spine. Core is strong. Wherever your foot is, try not to bring it onto the inner knee. Standing leg really is the root of this pose. So balance, strong through the standing leg, tailbone lengthening down. And then bringing the left knee back in toward the chest. Warrior 3, you're going to extend the left leg back. Crown of head forward, and then continue to fold forward. Bring the hands either to blocks or to the mat. So we're going to fold over the standing leg in our standing splits. So lift the left leg as high as you can. If you'd like, you can bring the right hand behind the right thigh or right calf or ankle to fold a little bit deeper. Lifting up for 3, folding down for 2. Look toward the back of the room for 1, and then halfway lift, lung forward, step the left foot to the back of the mat, and coming into a warrior 2. You're going to drop the back heel to arch alignment with your feet, lift all the way up, warrior 2, shoulders step over your hips. Right knee over the ankle, make sure you can see a sliver of your right big toe on the inside of the right knee. There's no back bend in warrior 2, so push your hips forward. Fingers stretching away from each other. And then slowly from here, we're going to come into Trikonasana. Straighten the right leg. You might toe heel the left foot in slightly to shorten the distance between your feet. Inhale fully as you exhale. Left hip back, right fingertips forward. When you can't go anymore, right hand finds your right shin. Left arm lifts. So grounding through the outer edge of the left foot, push your hips forward, lengthen through the lower back, engage your right quad. Maybe you need to micro bend the right knee if you tend to hyperextend. Slowly, strong legs, strong core, come all the way back up, bring your hands to your hips, and then bring the toes to point in. So we're coming into a wide leg forward fold. The toes can almost pigeon toe here, heels can slightly point out. So we're going to fold forward. Don't worry if you need to bend into the knees. Inhale, hands to hips, lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, hinge, fold all the way forward and down. Keeping your hips in line with your feet. Make sure you are engaging your thighs. So you can even reach for your thighs and just make sure that the thigh muscles are engaged. And then bringing your hands to the mat. Inhale to find length. Exhale, fold. So if you fold, you have the length in your spine and your crown, the crown of the head is quite close to the mat. You can walk your hands back in line with your feet. Pushing the hands down into the mat and almost creating traction as you imagine you are sliding them forward. That's going to get you deeper into fold. If you're nowhere near there, you can keep the hands underneath the shoulders, chest forward, spine long, and folding forward and down as you lift your bum. The more you lift your bum and lean the weight forward into the toes, the deeper the stretch through the back of the legs. Now we're all going to inhale, stretch the chest forward, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, and then bring the left hand slightly in towards center. We're going to lift the right arm toward the sky. Lift your gaze with the right thumb. Holding it here, chest forward, spine long, legs strong, and then bring the right hand down. Lift the left arm, right arm underneath right shoulder. Find that twist through your thoracic spine. Keep the thighs active, breathing deeply. And then release, left hand down. We're going to walk toward the front of our mat. And find yourself in a runner's lunge on the right side. We're going to come to side plank on the left. So grounding into the left hand, Spin onto the outer edge of your left foot. First modification, you can bring the right toe toward the side of your mat, foot in line with hip, and extend right arm up. If you want to come into full variation, you can either stagger or stack your feet. Holding it here, you can also come into a tree variation by bringing the right foot to the inside of your left thigh. For 3, breathing here. For 2, 1, down dog. Right hand down, step the right foot back. Opposite side, left leg lift, inhale, point the left toe, bend the knee, heel to bum, and keep your right heel trying to root down toward the mat. 1 more full deep inhale, and as you exhale, knee to nose, thigh to belly, step the left foot all the way through. High lunge, feet on separate tracks, lift the arms all the way up overhead. Bring the hands to prayer, exhale. Come to standing at the front of your mat. Lean forward with control. Bring the right knee toward your chest. Okay, so tree pose again. You're going to bring your right foot either to the inside of the ankle, inside of the calf, or inside of the left thigh. If it's to the inner thigh, push the foot into the thigh and engage the thigh to push back into the foot. You want the right knee moving back in space in line with your hips. You want your hips pushing forward, tailbone lengthening down, crown of head tall to lengthen out of the back of the neck. Slowly, you're going to bring the right knee to the chest and hinge to warrior 3. So right leg extends back, chest forward, and then we're going to continue to fold over the standing leg as you lift the right leg. Eventually, hands to the mat or hands to blocks, any variation of your standing splits. So you want to think about crown of head, folding down toward the mat. If you want to deepen it, you can bring the left hand behind the ankle or calf. Right leg lift for 3. The more you fold down, the higher the right leg will lift for 2. 1. Look forward, inhale, flat back, exhale, warrior 2. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. Find heel to arch alignment with your feet, and windmill up and open. Okay, so you'll see my shoulders are stacked exactly over my hips. It's very easy to start to lean forward as you lunge. So just make sure that you're getting that deep lunge, but keeping the shoulders stacked over the hips. As you push your hips forward, make sure the left knee stays out wide. Trikonasana, straighten the left leg, toe heel the back foot in just once. Inhale fully. Exhale, right hip back, left fingertips forward and down. Right arm lifts toward the sky. Hips forward. Left thigh fully active. Breathe in here. Ground through the outer edge of the right foot. Slowly, strong legs, strong core, come all the way back up. Okay, this time, bring your feet parallel with each other for that wide leg forward fold again. We're going to bring the hands behind the back, interlock the fingers and stretch back through the arms as you open your chest. Strong legs, inhale, stretch up, exhale, fold it forward and down. So you really need to use the strength of your legs to support yourself here. Allow the head to be heavy, allow the legs to support you as you lift the arms up and over. Eventually you might touch the mat behind you or the earth behind you. Engage your pelvic floor, lift your hips. Breathe. Slowly, strong legs as you come all the way up forward, halfway. Release your fingertips to the mat and walk to the front of the mat. Runner's lunge on the left side, preparing for side plank on the right. Right hand underneath the right shoulder, spin onto the outer edge of the right foot. You can step the left foot back halfway or fully, any variation of your side plank. You can even come into your tree pose in your side plank. Keep lifting the hips, engaging the core, lengthening through the tailbone. And then left hand down, left foot back, downward facing dog. Okay, we're gonna step to the front of our mat. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale to fold. And roll like a ragdoll So bend your knees, allow your arms to hang heavy, roll all the way up to standing, dropping the tailbone, tucking the chin, eventually shoulders stacked over your hips. Okay, so we are going to come into our dancer pose. We're actually going to do the Bikram variation of our dancer. And there is a back bend, a slight twist through the spine. So I'm going to demonstrate the twist first. So what we want to be doing is starting with our feet together. If you can see here, the twist is going to start or happen in my upper spine. So when we come into this pose, what we want is our right arm to come forward and our left arm to come back. Okay, so what we're doing is twisting our upper spine. Right shoulder will be underneath your chin. Left shoulder will be behind your right shoulder, and your hips stay square. I'll demonstrate it from the side as well. So as we come into the pose, our upper body will twist. Our right arm comes forward, left arm comes back. So we'll do that all together. So we're going to bring our right arm out like you're holding a tray. You're going to drop the right hand so that the palm faces away and the thumb points back. Lift your right foot and grab your foot from the inside. So your palm is facing away from your body. You're holding the foot from the big toe mound side near the arch of your foot. Bring your right knee back in line with your left. Square off your hips toward the front of the room. Your core stays engaged the whole time. Bring your left arm up toward the sky, palm faces forward. Inhale, I want you to stretch up through your left arm, through your left side body, right shoulder soft, and then kick. As you kick, you're going to start to lean forward. I want you to drop your belly down, gazing forward over your left fingers. Left shoulder comes forward underneath your chin, and you kick back into the right foot. Breathing here for 5. Lift your chest, arch your spine for 4. Standing leg fully strong, kick and reach. 3, 2, 1. Kick to come out. Left arm up, release the right foot and down. Okay, opposite side. Bring your left hand out as if you're holding the tray. Drop your left hand and pick up your left foot from the inside. It's okay if the left knee comes out wide as you grab the foot, but then bring the left knee back. Soften your left shoulder so that the left shoulder can be pulled back. Engage your right thigh fully and engage your core. Lift your right arm up, stretch up, inhale. Exhale, reach and kick. So the more you engage your standing leg, the stronger it's going to be. The more you kick, the more you reach. Breathe 5. Kick 4. Engage your core 3. Lift your left shoulder as you kick deeper. 2, 1. Kick to come out. With control. Okay. So you can pause the video and do that again. As I said, balance is something that will come and go each day, so it can be a little bit frustrating. The more frustrated you get, the less you breathe, the less energy you're going to have, and the less focus you're going to have. So don't worry if you were falling out, if you found it really hard. Practice by just pausing, taking a deep breath, and starting over again. Okay, so we're going to finish with some seated poses. Because we've opened up through the hips quite a lot, we're going to come into our double pigeon. So I'd like you to come to seated. And there's loads of options with this pose. Okay, so it's one of my favorite hip openers. Like we did at the beginning of class, you can start with simply crossing at your shins, flexing your feet, which is really important so that you're feeling this in your bum and your outer hips, and bringing the feet in line with your knees. So this is a beginner's option. Next option is, if you want, you can bring that left heel quite close in toward your right hip and place your right ankle over your left knee. Again, really important that you're flexing the foot, no pointing through the right toe. You're drawing the toes back toward the knee. Next option is that you stack right shin on top of left. Again, both feet are flexed, ankles aligned with knees, and shins in line with each other, so you're creating this equilateral equilateral triangle between your legs. You can sit upright, holding here. If you're quite open, you can always fold forward. You might use a block to fold forward. You might just bring fingertips. You might walk the fingertips out, or you might come to the forearms. These are all options. I don't want anybody forcing just because you think this is the best variation or the most advanced. It's not about being advanced, it's being about where you are, okay? If you're not coming from where you are, you can't go to where you're meant to be. Breathe deeply into your right hip, soften your shoulders, relax the jaw, focus on the breath. So that was quite a fast-paced class. And I'm sure whatever level you're at or however long you've been practicing for, whether that's years, months, days. One more full deep inhale. One more full deep exhale to sink forward and down. And then slowly you can walk your hands up if you have folded, and then just releasing the cross of the ankle. So bring your feet in front. We're going to come into a reverse tabletop before we come to the other side. So set up your feet about hip width distance. Toes point forward, or hands behind you, just behind your back, and fingers point forward. Push down into your feet, keep your tailbone tucked, and lift your hips in line with your knees, your shoulders. Hold 3, breathe 2, 1, and release. Just windshield wiper knees left to right. And then we'll do the same on the opposite side. Okay, so this time, if you had your right shin in front of your left, you'll bring your left shin in front of your right. If you had your right shin over your left, you'll bring your left shin over your right. So the same options again. Please do listen to your body. Remember, this side might feel very different. You can bring the left ankle over the right, flexing the foot. If you need to bring the bottom heel in close towards you to make the opening a little bit more accessible, do. Or you can stack shin on top of each, one shin on top of the other, like fire logs. Ankles in line with knees perhaps. You can sit up tall or fold forward. So for some of us, you're going to feel this most intensely when your shoulders are over your hips. Some of us will feel it more when we have folded forward, where the fold might be too much, but we can't breathe there. So take your time, tune in, listen to your breath. Perhaps close your eyes so that you're not worried about how the pose looks, and I want you to tune in to how it feels. Notice if there's somewhere where there's tension that maybe you can let go of, usually in the shoulders, the jaw, the face. Relax your hands. Deepen your breath. Listen to its sound. If you are folding, try to think about chest forward, as if you are trying to slide the chest all the way forward and down. Make sure the feet are still flexed, that you're directing the breath into that left hip. Breathing for 3, hold for 2. Last full exhale for 1. And slowly you can come all the way back out. Well done. Okay, unravel the legs. Be really mindful, move really slowly. Okay, and then just bring the fingertips behind you, or arms behind you, fingers point forward, fingers spread wide, feet hip width distance, lift your hips, reverse tabletop, draw the shoulders together, tuck the tailbone, and slowly lower down, windshield wiper knees, left to right. then from there, scoot your bum forward. We're going to come into shoulder stand. If it's your time of the month or you don't practice shoulder stand, simply bring a block underneath your lower back, like so, on the lowest level, and then extend your legs up toward the sky. Arms can rest by your side body. If you're coming into full shoulder stand, you can take a swing at it from seated, walk your shoulder blades underneath. I like to bring my feet behind me into plow, walk the shoulders in a little bit, maybe interlock the fingers, shimmy, 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 and then keeping my elbows shoulder width distance, bringing my hands to my back, and then lifting my legs all the way up. Energy up through the legs, pointing the toes, squeezing through inner thighs, hips over shoulders, and legs over hips. Keeping your chin center of the chest, no looking left or right. Breathing here, and then slowly for plow, you're going to begin to lower the legs. You can do it one at a time or both together. Find the mat with your toes. You can keep the hands to the back if you want, or you can interlock your fingers and extend your arms forward. Breathing again into your lower back, into the muscles that line your spine. Don't worry if the feet aren't touching the mat, you keep your hands to the back to support you. Slowly we'll all lower our arms to the mat and lower vertebra by vertebra all the way down. I'd like you to bring your knees in toward your chest, bring your hands underneath your bum, palms face down, then extend your legs forward, point your toes, and push into your elbows as you lift. Sorry, I'm just going to scooch back so that you can see. So palms face down, point the toes, legs together, lift your chest and look back. Matsyendrasana, fish pose. Tuck your chin, release the elbows, and find your way into your final Savasana, your final resting pose. So palms of the hands can be face down on the belly. I like to bring them by my side body, palms face up. Take a full deep inhale through your nose, fill your lungs, fill your belly, and as you exhale, open your mouth and let it go. Allow the entire body to find stillness, to be comfortable. If you have any jumpers or socks or blankets you'd like to put on, please do. Sometimes it can be nice to find an eye pillow as well. Just cover the eyes, find some darkness, and let go of distraction as you allow the effects of your practice to be absorbed completely. If you find yourself distracted, just come back to your breath, listen to its sound, scan your body from your feet, point to point all the way up to the crown of your head. Please press pause and stay here for about 5 minutes. And then when you're ready, you can press play again. We'll start to bring some movement back into the fingertips, into the toes, allowing your breath to move your body again as you deepen it. And then we'll roll over onto the right side of our body into a fetal position. Just pausing. And then using your left hand to push up all the way to seated. Try to keep your eyes closed so that we stay with focus internal. Sit up tall through your spine, stack your shoulders over your hips. And just take a moment to tune back into the breath, to notice its pace, to feel anything that has shifted or changed as a result of you simply coming to your mat today.